No,
Okay.
you,
Uh,
before we
just
get
give me a
this
second.
started, I'm just gonna make sure that Kyo,
yes.
I am not responsible for anything that is about to happen. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Kyo, you
I blame Greek. I
you're
blame Greek.
by winning.
Uh,
Okay.
Your first mistake was winning this tournament.
how is that a mistake?
Your
What?
your second mistake was actually joining the call.
The third mistake was accepting this grand prize. And letting
Basically,
me go through with this. Okay. So, okay. Are you ready?
Yes. Go. Go.
Okay then. Shin Lasagna Garfield. You, Narukami, and Igor were inside the Velvet Room discussing important contracts. Narukami, are you ready to accept the contracts? Asked Igor with inquisition. Igor, I am unsure if I have the courageous manliness to go through with contract, said Narukami with nervousness. Do not worry that you aren't manly enough for this contract, for I have the ultimate man, Garfield, to help you, said Igor with politeness as he pointed to heroic figure outside a limo. Garfield then strutted inside the limo with the power to create universes. The only contract I signed is with lasagna, said Garfield coolly as he punched Igor out of the limo and drove it at the speed of darkness. Do I still get my persona? Said Narukami with confusion. Personas are for wimps and impotents, said Garfield with righteous manly fury of lasagna as he kicked Narukami out of the limo with the gentleness of a donkey. Narukami then woke up and realized it was time for school. He entered the classroom as he was standing next to Mr. Moroka. No one's fucking leaving. No, I'm gonna force you to come back here. You have to accept this. Narukami, you are late for your learning, said Mr. Moroka with teachings. Narukami looks at around, thinking that Garfield is not around. I am not late for teachings, for you are a loser, said Narukami with defiance. Gasp! Gasped the whole class with gasping at Narukami's attempt at manliness. Mr. Moroka then had a fury of 1,000 lasagnas. You are a limping man to look on a new transfer student, said Mr. Moroka with angriness as he pointed towards the orange figure standing outside of the classroom. Garfield then walked into the room and sat right next to Chie, Satonaka, Yukiko, Amagi, and Yosuke Hanamura. I'd like to have some steak at your nest, said Chie with eyes filled with hunger. I'll be the one to cut your steak with my steak knife, said Garfield with flirting.
Why?
Definitely want my steak cut, said Chie with blushing. You look so manly and handsome, said Yukiko with admiration. How about you check into my pleasure hotel, said Garfield with suaveness. Narukami attempts to sit next to Garfield, wanting his best to be friends with him. No one has room for you, Mo Howard. Go sit with Curly and Larry over there, said Garfield with wit as he pointed to the empty desk at the corner. Wow, Garfield, that is a funny joke, said Yosuke, getting Garfield's witty joke. Narukami then sat in the corner as Mr. Moroka was getting ready to do his teachings. Enough of this farce. Classes are over, Garfield declared as the bell rang, ending classes. Let us go to Juness. We can have all the steak we want there, said Chie with happiness as she held onto Garfield's arm. Yes, Garfield. I'll love to check into your pleasure castle, said Yukiko with flirtiness. Yeah, Garfield. I'll buy you all the lasagna you can eat, said Yosuke with friendship. Lasagna soothes the body and soul, said Garfield with wisdom. Then Narukami went to Juness, where he saw Garfield and the others in the food court. So lovely, ladies. Do you want me to slather your steaks with my A1 steak sauce? Said Garfield.
Why? I still hate that part so much.
Oh, Garfield! Flavor our steaks with your lasagna sauce, cried out Yukiko and Chie with lustful sexiness. Narukami hides near the table as he stares at Garfield, his heart filling with hatred and darkness. I'll show Garfield what I learned before I went to school today, said Narukami with evil. Narukami then walked up to Garfield with a fake smile on his face. Say, Garfield, I heard there was a huge flat screen TVs for sale in Juness, said Narukami with helpful knowledge. TVs are the backbone of American liberty, along with lasagna, said Garfield with patriotism. But isn't lasagna by Italians? Asked Yosuke with racist questioning. The only thing I hate more than impotence is racist, shouted Garfield in rage as he shot Yosuke's head off with his Desert Eagle.
What?
Lead me to these TVs, Dennis the Menace, said Garfield with jokes. Garfield then arrives at the flat screen TV, checking out the low prices at the sale. Then one of the TVs show a lasagna commercial, catching Garfield's attention. You should never trust lasagna, Garfield, declared Narukami with viciousness as he pushed Garfield inside of the TV. Garfield then whistled for his custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle with lasagna headlights as it fell alongside him. Garfield then hopped on his custom Harley-Davidson as he put on his manly sunglasses. Time for motocross joyriding, said Garfield coolly as he did awesome stunts and bounced off many TVs before landing on a bear, killing it instantly with his manliness. Guess he just had to grin and bear it, said Garfield with cool jokes. Then Margaret shows up, eyeing Garfield with interest. Garfield, you must come to the Velvet Room for briefings, said Margaret with knowledge. How about we go to the Velvet Room for some debriefings instead, baby cakes? Said Garfield with styles. Aren't you bold, Garfield? Said Margaret with flirtations. Margaret then shows Garfield a creature that leapt out and attacked them both. Garfield then did backflips as it tore the creature in half. That was a shadow, Garfield, said Margaret with information. Looks like it is nothing more than a shadow of its former self, said Garfield with wisecracks. Somebody's using this world for their own evil purposes. They might use it to get rid of all of the lasagna, said Margaret with fearfulness. Indignities! Garfield roared as he climbed on his custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle, placing on his cool sunglasses. Garfield then grabbed Margaret and placed her on his manly lap. I'll be letting you ride my wild stallion this time, said Garfield with wit before riding out of the TV world while blasting heavy rock music from his bike. Those who wish to erase lasagna will be erased from history, said Garfield in righteous justice. Elsewhere, Narukami was sitting at the Junet's food court eating a wimpy salad as Adachi walked into the food court. All those bitches and whores say I'm not manly enough, said Adachi in rage as he sat next to Narukami. Yeah, we aren't as manly as Garfield, said Narukami with despair. Then Narukami and Adachi find black materia inside of Narukami's wimpy salad. With this, we can show Garfield who the true man is, said Adachi with disgusting evil. Elsewhere, Chie and Yukiko are sad, sitting in the Amagi Inn, wondering what happened to their precious Garfield. I miss that hunk of orange man, cried Yukiko like a woman. Who will help me cut my steak? Cried Chie like a little girl. Garfield then burst into the inn on his custom Harley-Davidson, carrying Margaret like manly American hero. Hello, chickies. How about I show you the true hidden treasure of Inaba? Said Garfield with romance. The ladies then wrapped their arms around Garfield as he took them into a room. The ladies then began to massage Garfield's muscular back up and down with oil. Well then, ladies, how about I examine your social links? Said Garfield sassily. On Garfield's word, the ladies began stripping for him and loving each other. Chie began licking Yukiko like a fine, tender-cut steak, making Yukiko feel good. Margaret then fondled Chie and showed her what a true woman can do. Rise then enters the room, already in a bikini as she eyes Garfield with sexy eyes. I heard there is a manly man here, and I want to become a true woman with his lovings, declared Rise with lustfulness. Looks like we'll be dancing all night, quipped Garfield with sexy humors. Rise then strips naked for Garfield and began to show the other ladies some sexy dance numbers for Garfield to be entertained. The ladies pleasured each other as Garfield looked on with approval, lighting his lasagna cigarette. Naoto also enters the room, stripping naked to reveal her bouncy, succulent orbs. Garfield, when I heard you were in town, I decided to stop trying to be a boy and want to become true woman by you, declared Naoto with wanting as she joined in with the ladies. Well, guess it's time for this case to be closed shut, said Garfield with desire. Naoto and Margaret began rubbing their bodies together with friction. They moaned as their bodies stuck together like glue on paper. Now then, ladies, allow me to show you my tarot cards, said Garfield with lustful desire as he tackled them with the grace of a quarterback. Garfield, make me a woman. I want to become a true woman rather than a little boy, said Naoto with truth. Yes, Garfield, I want to be a true woman, cried Risa with pleasure. Then allow me to max out all of your social links, declared Garfield as he pleasured them all over, making them scream banshee screams. Please slather my steak with your lasagna sauce and cut it, Garfield, cried Chie with lustful hunger. Garfield then unveils his galactic steak knife and eats Chie out with the forced vacuum-eating lasagna. Time for everyone to get their fill of lasagna, said Garfield as he cuts into Chie's steak as gently as a saw through wood. Yes, Garfield, make me feel the bonds of our friendship, said Margaret as she howled with sexiness. Time for me to register my persona into your compendium, said Garfield as he caused mass destruction inside of Margaret's velvet room, making her sing with grace of a hummingbird. As Garfield pleasured his ladies, they felt ready to explode from his manly sexiness. Garfield then lights his own lasagna cigarette, leaving a sexy wink for the ladies. Now it's time for me to plant my future lasagna seeds into your fertile gardens, said Garfield with class as he showered the ladies in his seeds, planting them inside his chickies for them to grow. The loving rocked the whole Amagi Inn all night, filling their compendiums with personas and social links into the morning. To be continued, ellipses.
Oh my god.
Well, that was something.
That was something? I just love his reaction. That was something.
You were just like, how the fuck do I react to this?
Oh.
How the fuck do I react to this? Jesus.
So what do you think, Yo? Give us your honest thoughts.
The Garfield voice was great.
Garfield voice is great 2015.
Garfield for president 2015.
Oh my god. I heard these were bad, but I never thought it was that bad.
You